News Update Coronavirus April 6, 2020. Note, this is a collaborative video made between Travel for All Fanpage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most on April 6 as follows. 1. U.S. News, updated 7:12 a.m. ET, Monday, April 6, 2020. About hydroxychloroquine antimalarial drugs, there was a bitter disagreement in the American Situation Room this weekend over the effectiveness of hydroxychloroquine antimalarial drugs. Medical experts have repeatedly explained to the president that there is a risk in enthusiastically touting hydroxychloroquine in case the drug doesn't ultimately work to combat the virus. This debate is not a new issue in the coronavirus task force in the U.S. about tracking COVID-19 cases in the U.S. New York has become the epicenter of the country's outbreak with 123,160 confirmed cases and 4,159 deaths so far. When adjusted for population, that translates to roughly 633 known cases and 21 deaths for every 100,000 residents. The U.S. has the most confirmed cases of the virus, with 337,933 cases and 9,653 deaths. 2. Singapore announced the third support package. On April 6, Singapore announced an additional $5.1 billion stimulus package, $3.6 billion, to support businesses and households to minimize the economic damage caused by the epidemic. Each Singaporean adult will receive 600 Singapore dollars, about $417.7 USD. Together with the previous two packages, the Southeast Asian nation spent a total of $59.9 billion, $41.7 billion, or about 12% of the national GDP, to reduce the impact of the COVID-19 epidemic. 3. According to data from the Spanish Ministry of Health, on April 6, the country has recorded an additional 637 deaths due to COVID-19, lower than 674 of the previous day, and this is a continuous slowdown the last few days. The total number of deaths in the country is now 13,055, while the total number of infections is 135,032 cases. The previous day was 130,759 cases. 4. Russia increasing nearly 1,000 infections in 24 hours. Reuters April 6, citing information from the Crisis Response Center of Russia, said the number of COVID-19 cases in the country had increased by 954 cases in the past 24 hours, to a total of 6,343 cases. There have been 47 deaths due to COVID-19 in the country so far. 5. Japan will declare a state of emergency. Japan's Yomiuri newspaper said Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe planned to declare a state of emergency early tomorrow on April 7 to increase the measures to curb COVID-19. On the other hand, Japan's Kyodo News Agency said the new measures will take effect on April 8. To date, more than 3,500 people are positive for the new strain of coronavirus and 85 people died from COVID-19 in Japan. Local governments in Japan are increasingly alarmed by a constantly increasing number of cases, especially in Tokyo, where more than 1,000 cases are. 6. News of Poland. Poland's Prime Minister Maciej Morawiecki said today that Poland is still in the early stages of combating the COVID-19 epidemic, and that it is expected to reach its peak around May and June. He said that Poland currently has a shortage of medical equipment. The European country plans to increase the number of tests per day from 6,000 to 7,000 to 8,000 to 9,000. 7. Spain, less new deaths. Update 04/06/200807 AM EDT. According to data from the Spanish Ministry of Health, on April 6, the country has recorded an additional 637 deaths due to COVID-19, lower than the previous day of 674, and this is a slow increase in the past few days. The total number of deaths in the country is now 13,055, while the total number of infections is 135,032 cases. The previous day was 130,759 cases. Spain's number of deaths from COVID-19 has been dropping since the country peaked at 905 deaths last Thursday. 8. The number of deaths due to COVID-19 of Switzerland has increased from 559 to 584 on April 6. The Swiss Public Health Agency on April 6 also reported that the total number of infections here is now 12,652, up from 21,100 cases before. The Swiss government, on March 16, 2020, issued a state of emergency to combat COVID-19. The Swiss Army is deployed nationwide. 8,000 soldiers will support medical, logistics and security personnel until the end of June. This is an unprecedented force mobilization since World War II. 9. Chinese news. China will continue to prevent the spread of COVID-19 through cross-border imports. The government made a statement on April 6 after a meeting hosted by Chinese Premier Li Keqiang. Of the 38 reported symptoms of reintegration into mainland China on April 5, 20 came from Heilongjiang province after crossing the border with Russia in Vladivostok. These people flew to Vladivostok from Moscow. 10. Indonesia. The highest number of infections in a day on April 6. Indonesia recorded 218 more cases of COVID-19, and this is the number of infections increased in the single day so far. The country now records a total of 2,491 cases. Meanwhile, an additional 11 deaths have been reported, totaling 209 deaths due to COVID-19. There are 192 people who have recovered in the country. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and travel for all fanpage respectfully, and see you in the next video.